Go! Carry a warning of what you have seen to the other shufflers. Fool! See what the impiety of the sea-striped fiends has wrought? The sand-striped shufflers know better. But you others come. Smooth-toned or furred or... Now, foreign ones dig at these roots, and the deep hunt... Now, the gods return to rain their punishment on these islands. Again. The defender of the Isles, the guardian of... Once, it lived among us. But then... that shufflers must not disturb these roots, or the gods will destroy the islands again. Do your stories say nothing of the many disasters? Of the shuffler nests washed away many generations ago? The sand-striped ones built great hive. Their ancestors, their meddling, displeased the gods. You shufflers are beasts of... You cast off your sheddings by night. Only our ancestors hid deep where the water... Now, the shufflers build again. The gods see. They will tear them all down. If your fat tongue speaks true, then give us proof. I tell you, thick tongues lie. Forked tongues, if what you say is true, then surely you can speak with it. I will believe your words, only if I hear them from the tongue of my own people.
Suga, I found the way.
Yanis? You died!
The way became dark, but this one brought light.
We will kill the shuffler and free your soul, Yanis.
Do old scales cloud your eyes? The shuffler glows like the God-Walker, like the way. He will open the way.
The gods give you power, yes. Approach. Restore the blessing of the gods.
As your hand touches the dim Audra, you feel the same cool, pricking sensation that you did when you touched the pillar near Port Mage. You concentrate on the pillar. The world around you swiftly falls away, leaving only the vast emptiness of the in-between. The Audra, for a second time, you gather the threads in your mind and bind them together, forming a solid tether that ripples out toward its distant anchor. Again, a crack sounds from the terminus. Your consciousness is violently pulled along the cord. You are prepared for the sensation this time, but are still disoriented when you come to a sudden stop. You find yourself standing behind a familiar Titanic statue as it trudges through invisible waters. Standing at Aethys' shoulder, your soul is dwarfed by the massive god's form. Energy pulses along the tether, each wave feeding the Audra's movements. He stops. His head cranes behind him, again accompanied by the sound of stone shearing and buckling. His eyes rest upon you. He does not reach for the cord, but considers you for a long span of silence before...
Your first attempt to contact me was brave. This second attempt, is it born out of desperation or something else? Why do you continue to follow me, Watcher of Cadnua? Many Kith would like to know the gods' designs. Why is it so important to you?
At first, he does not respond. But there is a wavering from the light within him. A momentary dimming that allows you to see the...
I never sought violence or death, but Margren and the Hand Occult have ensured that the world believes the madman Widewing tried to destroy the Deerwood and everyone in it. In truth, a war was what I desired, but not one of violence. I sought a war of conscience. If people saw that the ruins so faithfully guarded by the Glanfathans were nothing more than machines, machines the Angwithans had used to turn themselves into gods, what?
Aethys becomes silent. You can sense his presence advancing back along the cord between you. His energy flows over your hand, tendrils of light probing into the air around you.
You are in a unique position. In spite of the work of the Leaden Key and Hand Occult, you have seen through our facade. You know the gods' true nature. Without the benefit of your knowledge, few mortals would be willing to accept the true history of their gods. After all, the last time I walked Aora, I made a mistake in not revealing my true purpose. I believe you would understand it better than most. Yes, I will tell you, but this is not the time. As I take this body farther from the lighthouse, the tether grows weaker, and I have already... Soon this link will unravel completely. If I have not reached my destination when that happens, I will need to pull more souls from your world.
The edges of Aethys's massive form blur and dissolve. The huge figure retreats from you. As it moves, the tether begins to rapidly unravel.
If you would know more, find me at the Ashen Maw in Margren's Teeth. I must rest there before I begin my final work. When I leave that place, you will not be able to follow. Before I go, I should return some of this to you. I still have need of the great power of your soul, but I can spare you this portion.
A pulse of energy moves back along the golden cord toward you. It feels familiar, comforting. Eve, the energy washes over you, flooding you with feelings and memories you had thought long forgotten, until they settle back into the and then the tether and cord snap. Aethys's figure evaporating into dust that mingles with the endless heat rushes over you, and the uncomfortable sensation of the Audra Pillar's presence cuts off. The gloom of the in-between is pure.
Long have we kept peace with the Sand-Striped people. But then, the foreign ones came and spread, killed our people, built...
Chaudhary, you attack every foreign ship you see. The Juana may not like us, but at least they speak to us.
We were sure the Godwalker came to cast them out. That driving them away was a holy mission. but on whose terms? We must go. I know not what this means, but our brethren, you show us something new today, Shuffler. Thank you for this, and for your mercy.
Of course, keeping an eye out. As you wish. That's right. Keep slithering.
As much as I like pretending nothing happened, perhaps we should talk about your episode with the Ardra.
If you got something to tell us...
You don't look like you're gonna be sick this time, so I take it that's a good sign? So what you're saying is we are headed to Mogren's Teeth, right? I'm ready to chase Gone if you are. All right then, let's do this.
Scale-bellied cowards! I knew they'd run!
Look at our beacon. Even the Colossus couldn't destroy it. And those snakes aren't so tough now, are they? Of course. The Hansanui will want to thank you personally for your help. Looking for a real challenge after what you did to those scale bellies? The only thing I know about the place is it's supposedly made of fire. But anything can be overcome. She's usually at the Brass Citadel in Nekataka, though she gets called to the palace often, haggling with the clear skies.
Light of Aethys be upon you, neighbor. Are you looking for survivors?
Short lady, about my age. Came from Deerwood with her son. Let's see. Freckles, braids, usually. Punches you in the arm if she likes.
No, that doesn't sound like anyone. I don't think you'll have much luck around here.
sensei, and some that's bound for months.
You blink and find yourself standing in the knee-high grass of an endless field. With the dick, then, the earth falls away. The wind ceases, and you are sent tumbling up into the dark of the sky.
Watcher.
The voice of the Pallid Knight shakes the earth at your feet. You have returned to Bareth's realm. Your soul once more called to attend the wishes of the God of Death. You can't be certain, but you think you might see the barest hint of a smile tugging at the edges of the Pallid Knight's lips.
Once again, you have spoken with the Child of Light. Tell me what you have learned. Intriguing.
The Pallid Knight stares past you, pensive.
While attend. Tell me what your many eyes perceive.
Her words ring out, and a heavy in the silence breaks the murmur of countless voices. They speak all at once in languages both known and unknown to you. In the space beside Bareth, an eye blinks open, followed fast by several more. They are round, keen eyes of Kith, the slit eyes of snakes, the small, dark marbles of birds, the bulbous lanterns of deep-sea fish.
Here we are.
A figure walks through the cloud of eyes as one might step through a door. It is an Orlan, then a pale elf, an ocean human, a Naga. Each of them eyeless. They are well.
This is the first interesting thing to happen in ages. And we do so love a riddle.
The figure wears an Amawa's grin, and the many voices beneath its own titter.
Some things must be lost to be found again. You knew that once, when you buried my scroll beneath the earth in Black Meadow. But it seems you have forgotten. We have read the book of your life, Watcher. It is heavy with the weight of your choices, and its pages are not unmarred by the blood of others. You reap, but on a smaller scale. We see between the strings of the world, and Aothas is there, strumming them like a lute. His tongue is still, yet he sings of a coming joy. What tune he plays, we do not know. It is complex, ever-shifting. One moment vibrating in harmony, the next in discord.
A man strides through the door to Bareth's realm. Behind him lope wolves with lolling tongues, and jungle cats whose long tails twitch with every Galawain, the changeling, arrives. And he brings with him the wild heart of Aora's fast on Galawain's heels. A small wave of seawater washes across the tiles. From out of the water rears a glowing lure, then the head of a gigantic fish. The round black eyes of Andra roll to meet yours.
Aothas is nothing if not resourceful. I admire his nerve.
In the changeling's voice, you hear the soft patter of rain on leaves, and the rush of wind through treetops.
No, he is a creature of the pack, left long alone. Without our strength behind him, he's weak. If his journey leads him back to us, he has proved himself worthy of return to...
Aothas does not return to us. He returns to execute some grand plan. We must stop him.
Andra's voice rises like a tide, panic riding its crest. The doors lining the walls of Bareth's realm slam open in unison. Warped pieces of ancient armor and the remnants of discarded weapons roar through the doorways. They meet in the center of the room. Finally, a blacksmith's sledge hurtles past your shoulder. A man made half of metal and half of ruined skin stands. The rounded metal of a well-worn shield makes up most of his skull, his...
If Aothas has something foolish planned, perhaps we can turn him from that path. And set...
Abaddon's words crash and screech together, like long steel gears forced to movement for the first time in centuries.
Abaddon speaks with a child's naivety. He violates not their realms, but mine. I feel his urgency in every stamp of his feet along my spine. I will send tsunamis to slow him, if Mogren would stir the earth beneath Mogren's teeth.
The water at your feet recedes. Lava oozes up through the shallow water, and a woman made from the guts of the earth emerges. She settles her characteristic broadsword on her shoulder and sighs a cloud of smoke. Mogren returns.
In the age when our steps carved valleys across the face of Aora, our bodies were impervious to all but the strongest attacks. I doubt fire and water will be enough to stop him. But I will bear down upon Aothas with all the heat and fury of the earth. If I must.
The death of thousands now could prevent the death of millions later.
Dark, inky tears fall from Andra's eyes.
Sacrifices of the few protect the futures of the many. You cannot let your petty, mortal feelings blind you to the urgency of the dilemma Aethys has thrust upon us.
The deep, bellowing cry of an aurochs shakes the ground beneath your feet. The cry drones whilst many eyes squeeze shut. Andra slips back beneath her waves. Magrin dissipates in a swirling cloud. Only the pallid night stands.
My end comes to all things in time. Should Aethys care to hasten the inevitable, I welcome his efforts. Aethys seeks a slate wiped clean, freedom from the endless revolutions of Barath's wheel. The final emancipation of the countless stolen mortal.
The Child of Light will not choose the hour of my death.
Magrin tests the edge of her broadsword with a smoldering finger.
He sows chaos in his longing for a radiant dawn. So much will be lost in the cacophony of fear his actions inspire.
The crack of thunder rends the air. The gods fall silent.
We can wait no longer to act. Speak with him, Watcher. Discover what it is he plans. To live is a choice, and you yet draw breath. Drink deep of the air, Watcher.
The warmth of the pallid night's breath. Water begins to creep across the floor. It swells, runs swiftly, and catches at you. Scrabble at the tiles, but it's no use. The current's pull drags you off the edge of Barath's realm, and you splash down in water so dark you can't see the bottom. Then, the water recedes. The gods are gone.
When I was a little boy, so
Leave it to
How may
me.
I be of service, my lord? We have a long and dangerous journey before us, my lord. I advise you to prepare and gather your strength for the trials ahead. I was the steward of your keep long before your time. Still, it would be unseemly.
Well, hey. Tell me what's on your mind. My folk at the war, the others took. My aunt's the weather forward. That's how after that, I read all the doctrines of God. Of course, mostly I learned through. I guess it's not like night and death or oh, no use in fearing what's natural. No need to fiddle-foot around. They're there in my head and sometimes I can taste them on the back of my. You need me, I'll be 2 whoops.
Here we are again, I must admit. Accompanying you to Twin Elms worked out well for both of us. Perfetto. You only have to ask. After we parted ways, I returned to the Republics and reported to the Duke's bells. The trade agreement we brokered with the Anamenfath was quite lucrative for the Republics. The Deerwood was still recovering. The Duke's bells were so pleased with my performance that I was made the personal Spirento is the most beautiful. Still, our profit came at the expense of the Deerwood. The fruit of victory. Well, even if he has taken us back, and I doubt Bereth and the other gods will consider your debt to them fulfilled. Merla, Ola, but this is... we need... After we parted, the Duke's... Still, our profit came at the expense of the... Where I am assigned is of no concern to me. But I do... if the Dukes need me here, I am glad to serve them. Shoti. She is a child, but she is so easily wounded by ideas counter to her. Whatever her problems are, they are hers. Que? Menea was a good companion and a skilled warrior. But it appears to have gotten the better of you as well.
Great and the Rawatai, but others will want to know what you've seen. You make it sound... Don't you worry what will come next? It reminds me of... as you may have guessed, I was... Animancy is a subject of... That's... after that incident. That's when I realized how short-sighted I'd been. By studying Dennis, I found and they appear to have been working independently. There's most source... I don't know where in the Deadfire they... That's all I ask.
Hey, this brings back... Oh, for a long time, I hoped that we'd find out. But lately, there's nothing... If you like. I like that. That was something... Not that I looked all... Ended up moving to Adir and tracking down my parents. In part, some Adir with my folks. A group came along and tried to... I sat down with one fella, my folks. And I don't know if that was something we... If you like. The air's different. Sounds different. If the birds... Strange thing is...
I join crew. Who worthless now, Arkamir? I join crew. Who worthless now, Arkamir?
Agrasima, Casita, for taking me on.
This be important, man, so listen close. Whatever you be owing a watcher, you don't owe your life.
Captain, a word? You've spoken to Aethys, which means you know what we're up against. If the fleet sailed up to him and fired every cannon, there's no stopping him, is there? I'll tell your friend to point Aethys and his giant green ass towards another archipelago. Because he's stepping all over... I suppose there's a certain appeal to recognizing the inevitable. It reminds me of the first time I shot to kill. There he stood, a pack of the wind, a cannon. I don't know if I've got that same feeling now. Better or worse, I know that Aethys is meant... Hope I didn't take the wind out of your sail. That's more than most... I've got some answers. What, even as... Girl, as a rule, Stink Feathers here kicked a rather pretty hawk off my arm so he could have me all to him. Sure am. And I heard that you two spent some time together. Kana came back from the Deerwood with a head full of ideas about Rauatai's expand. Getting out from under the academics suited him. I never knew he could be so political. You clearly had some sway on his opinions, more than I ever did. Wish you had told Kana to give up on the poetry. He's got no ear for it. You kept him alive in any case, while he wandered the lands in search of... I do with bullets what Kana did with word. At Stink Feathers here... Uh-oh. That's it.
You ever be wanting to leave? Not to be telling you your business, Cap, but if we don't set sail for Deadlight, Benworth will finish his repairs and pull anchor. Deadlight's a tough coconut to crack. But if not cracking, what are nuts for? Yeah, if you insist on a straightforward approach, you could always... If you breach the walls, you still got the go. Aye, Captain. Looking forward. Not to be telling you your business, Cap, but if we don't set... Deadlight's a tough coconut to crack. But it might be there's a way to sneak... Sussing out a place to land without being spotted ourselves will require Helia's own eyes. Well, then let me recommend you remedy yourself there, Captain. A good spyglass, be like a good lover. Shows you the bits you'd have missed otherwise. Yeah, sure, used to. Then I showed him the S I carved into it, and he turned around and told me it stood... Deadlight's a tough coconut. Smart play for crashing any part. Not looking the part. Don't have to tell you how dangerous such a bit of fabric can be if the wrong... It might be tricky to not damage the... I'm all ears, Captain. Oh, you be asking me for a plan. Frankly, I were curious to witness how the famed Watcher of... But since you asked, just give me a vast. I might have pulled a plan out of this hairy blue ass after all. Way I see it, we have an option or two ranging from the wildly dangerous to the fantastically suicidal. So tell you me, Cap, what be your preferred approach to problems unapproachable? Smart play for crashing and... Looking the part in this case, don't have to tell you how dangerous such a... Well, Nekitaka's black mud. I'm all ears, Captain. Later.
a follower of the light?
The light? Oh, you mean... well, depends on what you mean by follow.
Maybe you heard earlier? I follow Aethys too. Mostly, in a way. I mean, I am a child of the Dawn Stars, even if firstly I'm a Gaunite.
That's That's good, I guess. For you.
Oh, maybe you don't want to talk about it. That's all right. Surely, some other time, then.
Do you need something? I didn't... Is Aethys... Either way, the Governor Clary... I'd still... I think... And I don't entirely trust... As I saw my mother for the first time in... She was well. I used to blame her for... He was an exacting... It was... I'm just... I realized I used to... Intentionally or not... Thank you. It felt good to resolve that much. It was. It's strange to imagine an ancient legend...
Was it the way I said it?
Hey, I wanted to ask you something. It's about Shodi. But anybody... I get... But I'm no good at hiding it from... Never been much of a liar. All right, I'll do like you said. I don't think she... me.
May Helia smile upon your endeavors.
Do not leave me in suspense, I say. Have you found Matario Cozy?
A Tepu, drawer of maps. I have nothing to sell unless you are needing something else. What I discovered remains to be seen. The Sanctuary Isles were thought to be lost beneath the waves. Our ancestors marked some thousands. The Huana survived by taking shelter. Since those, I am told that the Oaxaca are protective toward the Isles. I was surveying the waters around the shore. I did not make it far up the beach before I spotted signs. Imagine how much history we lost in a single death. I did not. Should you let? Are some the Huana, since those, I am told that the Oaxaca are protective toward the Isles. Ah, if we must. I will not deny curiosity. Go on then. Ah. There is not a Huana. Oh, if I could walk the beaches of our... The same, but if I am being... Leave it to me.
My brothers and sisters have set sail for Neketaka.
I thought the tribes needed them.
The belly of the great eel roars with hunger. Will you help?
It is high time we spoke away from the exhaustive filter of the court. My children, Kahopa and Tangaloa, it is to them that I answer. when dignitaries do not pound at my door.
I think I speak for all of us when I say we'd be honored to pet your children. Trick with cats, of course, is you gotta ignore him first. Get him interested.
We are of one mind. My mother taught me to bait an enemy into the open, give it comfort, and a messenger from the jaws of Tangaloa speaks with the voice of wisdom. It is fitting that yours should be the voice that tells of Hasongo's fate. What did you see there? The snakes are on edge. Where comes this new boldness? Far be it for me to complain if they make trouble for outsiders. What of Aethys? If you know why he terrorizes the Deadfire, speak on. If Aethys makes for Magrin's teeth, I say the Rathun will grind him to dust for the praise of their warrior matron. Even if they fail, it will be an enemy cleared for my plate. This is the gratitude of Nagati, I say. The fiery children of Magrin devoted to their mother with a fanatic zeal. From Port Mage to Hasongo to Magrin's teeth, Aethys follows a rich vein of Adra. It takes him northeast to more... In the deepest memory of the tribes, we have told stories of Magrin's teeth. My people speak of treacherous seas, lakes of fire, and the ancient Ashen Maw is the grandest and most accessible of the peaks. It is the sharpest tooth in Magrin's jaw. Prepare yourself for a fight. Akira, would that our resources were not so entangled in other parts. I cannot send ships to Magrin's teeth any more than I would send paper. If you make preparations in Nekataka, I say we can help each other. I must keep the city's peace, and I have only so many arms and eyes. While the Deadfire screams, I would see Nekataka outlast the storm. What I need is a lasting peace that will outlive my dynasty. But I will accept peace of... What do you know of my water shapers? Perceptive. Akira, I suppose the Adiran translation is very... My water shapers are the levy holding back Rawatai's advance. An adept standing at the prow of... This reminds me. I owe the Hazanui a basket. Akira, you think so? I am counting on... While the problems of Aethys and overindulgent, now would be the time to confer with Guildmaster Myru, but she does not answer my summons. It is too early to grow a forest from this. The Guild can suffer no setbacks. If Myru shirks her duties, her queen Nagati do not... Speak on, I say. Time can be made for guests. Ah, Akira. But listen how the Watcher flatters me. I cannot plant a seed in untilled soil. Akira, I want the trading companies send spies to every corner of the mountain. I say there are places they cannot go. But you did not climb all the way up the mountain to pay compliment. Fine, I named them. Aruihi thinks I should feed. We are the stewards of the dead fire. Our ancestors made this pact with the god. The one it is said for so long as it is said the tribe. Speak on. The Huana walls and our future, I say. If we can the Valley when can my brother thinks I am too lenient with our visitors. First, the city is there are angles of the city I cannot see from my Akira. My thanks for your perspective. I say you give me much to consider. Because we are even the gods Aruihi would have me
Oh, now I've dreamed of this place.
Hello there! Come to have a word? Yes? Gladly, my friend. Gladly. I am the young... Truly, I consider it a boon. What else brings faraway travel as I would... So here I am. Ah, but truly, if I could only inspire others as... Anyway, enough of... Gladly, my... I am... Truly, I consider it a boon. What else as I... So here I am. And... Ah, but true... Anyway, enough of my prattle. Oh, it would be my absolute pleasure. For a price, of course. 3,000... Very well. Back again, yes? Farewell!
I'll see it done.
Halt! What is your business at the Brass Citadel? You're the Watcher. The one who nearly caught Grand Secretary Atsura wants to meet you. His office is on the lower level of Imperial Command. Up the stairs. Once you're inside, go downstairs through the room on the right. Her office is at the back of Imperial Command. She is busy organizing other but I am sure she will grant you an audience.
Leave. No Valiant spy is coming through on my watch.
I'm a merchant. I have business inside.
You want to see our walls, our cannons, our powder house.
The Royal Deadfire Company is a
The Brass Citadel and the Royal Deadfire Company? We answer to him. Now, these Valians are always...
And these Rawatayans think they own anything they stack 2 stones on top of. I am here to conduct business, not engage in petty power struggle.
What? She's up to no good. I know it. Fine. But if you're wrong, we're gonna have a talk later.
Agrassi, my friend.
Watcher, if you have a moment, I'd like to tell you something. I appreciate that I know that you have an important purpose in the Deadfire. And that purpose is not still. I hope you can see Agrassi.
Something I can do?